Do you ever see yourself as a kind person, but still feel like people don't really like you or appreciate you? Or worse, they don't take you seriously at all. You start wondering, is it because I don't know how to deal with people? Am I too direct, too honest, too open? Could it be that I'm simply too kind? If you've ever felt misunderstood for being kind, stay till the end. This insight may change how you show up in the world. After living for more than half a century, I finally said something important to myself. Your kindness must carry a little edge. And I remind myself, remember this and remember it well. I don't hurt others, but I also don't sacrifice myself, at least not to a great extent. This is what I now call kindness with wisdom. In Western psychology, we call this having boundaries. In Eastern philosophy, we call it having a sense of measure, knowing how far to go and when to stop. That sense of how much is enough, that's wisdom. Maybe this is what is meant by Buddhist teachings that say, don't interfere blindly with other people's karma. Everyone has their own life lesson to learn and overcome. If you truly have the ability to help someone and it doesn't cost you your well-being, then yes, help. But if you don't have that capacity, and helping them would harm you instead, is that really a wise thing to do? And here's another truth we don't talk about enough. If you help someone without getting their consent first, they may not feel grateful at all. They might feel offended. They might think you're meddling into their business, or that you're undermining their ability to solve it on their own. So now I usually ask for their consent before offering my help. I ask if they would like me to help. I let them know I'm willing, especially when it's a sensitive topic, because I don't want them to feel underestimated. I don't want them to misunderstand my intention. I don't want to disrespect their ability to solve their own problems. This, too, is kindness, and it's respect. We forget sometimes. This is a complex world. What we see on the surface is rarely the whole story. They may have something they do not wish to share. Now, let me ask you something. Do you think you really know how to speak? When you speak, are your words meant for yourself, or are they meant for the other person? It's said that human nature is selfish, and that's not good or bad. It's simply primal. It's human. It's wise to speak gently, to smile a little more, because the words that leave your mouth are for others to hear, not for you. The words meant for you are your raw, unfiltered thoughts. They belong to your inner world, spoken quietly in your heart, and should remain there. You must set a clear boundary in your words and actions. As for where that boundary is, it takes wisdom and maturity to draw that line wisely. Have you made this mistake before? Speaking before filtering your thoughts? The spoken words can't be taken back. So before you speak, pause and think. Ask yourself, how will they hear this? How will they interpret it? What reaction might this create? What word should I use? Does this word too harsh? Does it represent what I truly want to convey? What tone should I use? Do I sound too rigid? Or do I sound like commanding? What approach should I use? Is my approach appear friendly? Does it make them feel heard? So that I convey my message correctly without them misinterpret and misunderstand my intention, so that it doesn't turn into unnecessary conflict. At some point, I realized something against what I was taught in school. I stopped telling the whole truth so directly. I stopped being brutally honest. Instead, I learned to speak gently, indirectly, thoughtfully. This is maturity. This is reality. When I couldn't find anything kind or constructive to say, I choose to stay quiet. I don't want to lie. Usually there will be something good in anything, people or situation. As the saying goes, every coin has two sides. Look for the good to say. Rarely, when there's none, I stay quiet. To me, such approach works especially well in Eastern society. It may sound a little fake to some people, but honestly, to me it works. Because intelligent people understand what's not being said. They can sense the depth behind your words. And I want to be a wise person. Someone whose language reflects inner depth. In psychology, this is similar to the idea of the social mask. We all wear one. Because to survive, and thrive in society, especially when you're young and building a career. This is unavoidable. Yes, the skills of speaking carefully, testing the waters first, reading the room are priceless. To me, it can feel exhausting at times, but it's worth it. So, what does it mean to be someone who's well liked? How do people with good relationships communicate with the world? Have you noticed these in them? They tend to have soft hearts, they appear friendly and warm. They speak sweet words, always speak kind words, and generous with compliments. They are mentally alert and great observers, not because they're fake, but because they understand human nature and psychology. They understand timing is everything. Saying the right thing at the right time is vital, and so is doing the right thing at the right time. As for when is the right timing, it takes wisdom to determine. They know how to read the room. They can sense the mood, emotions, and unspoken dynamics in a situation. When you learn these skills, your life feels easier. Things feel easier. You feel luckier. To be able to establish yourself in society, you need self-awareness and a good observation. And remember this, your kindness must carry a little edge. That edge means when you know how to be firm with the world often becomes gentle with you. It sounds a little harsh, but what it really means is this. You must know how to protect yourself. I once heard a saying from the Western world, if you're not the predator, you're the prey. So ask yourself, which one do you choose to be? Personally, I don't believe life is an absolute win or lose. True wisdom is creating win-win situations. That's how societies stay harmony. Understand human nature and psychology. Understand how money works. Understand the laws of the universe. Then, face the world bravely. Play this life game fully, joyfully. No more weakness. No more fear. No more shrinking yourself. Every relationship is an exchange of value, regardless of whether the original intention is good or bad. Sometimes, wealthy circles aren't about showing off. They're about lifting each other up. So go. Face the world with courage. Play a beautiful game of life. And let that be your inner cultivation during your life journey here. Be blessed. Stay blessed.